Hello. Oh, yay. Hi. Hey, water grass. No, wait.
Well, today
She's gonna be the up. What the heck? That form of skulls, yeah. Remember that. I'm live. Okay? Okay, just text my friend. I still don't feel good whenever I say his name out loud, so I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, here's the update. I'm just gonna do a tiny live stream. And also, by the way, I like how I'm gonna do my next video. It's gonna be on
and if you don't, you better get on that.
It's gonna be on Earth Day.
He's like the funniest channel. Thanks. It's a fact. We became friends a little while ago, and I thought it was about time to have you on our video. Thank you. So coincidentally, we both live in the oven that is Arizona, and we wanted to share our thoughts and opinions on it. Like, don't get us wrong, we love it.
It literally, whenever they laugh out loud, it literally says parentheses,
We don't completely despise Arizona,
little star things at the top.
but there's just something
LOL,
about it
and
that
the
is
same
just
thing,
like,
but back. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about them, and yeah.
There's no trees here.
One,
No.
the heat. You talked about it a lot in your own Arizona video, James. And if anyone hasn't seen it, I suggest you watch that because it is a pretty A1 video.
I'm gonna make a hat.
Thanks.
But don't do it yet because you still gotta watch this video.
Yeah, don't watch that video
Yet.
yet.
It gets absolutely,
Oh yeah, it was unbearable.
like, shoot Arizona, slow your roll with the heat. We're not eggs trying to be boiled over here. And some people do that. They try to fry eggs with just the sun. You can look it up. It's a thing.
Okay, be right back, stream. After sleep. I'm also gonna leave this one for you guys.
You didn't put any salt on it. The heat is so bad, especially
Okay.
in the summer. If you wanted to do anything outside, then you had a 50% chance of having a heat stroke. It's just a risk you had to take.
Also, cars become literal toasters. You open the door and you're hit with just a massive wave of just Satan. And you sit down with like as little skin touching the seat as possible, and you kind of just have to wait and sit there, wait for the heat to die down just enough to be able to do anything. The seatbelt's too hot, the dash is too hot, the steering wheel's like, holy Jesus.
You think we're exaggerating, but no. If your car was parked in direct sunlight, you have to wait for it to cool down because you have to touch the steering wheel to drive. And you don't want to be driving like you're playing hot potato with the wheel.
I think someone needs to invent like a little compartment for holding oven mitts or something in the car, because that's really the only way you can actually drive without burning your hands off.
If someone actually does that, then we should get 50% of the profit because we came up with that idea. And then when you're all done and you get out of the car and you hear your sweaty back being pulled apart from the leather seats like a sticky note.
It's gross.
2. Cactuses.
Cacti.
Not a lot of places have cacti. Only Arizona, Texas, Nevada, and New Mexico have natural growing cacti. And a tiny bit of Mexico. So some people who visit are like, ooh, look, cacti, cool. Sure, they're cool to look at, but I don't get why they're so excited about cacti. They're freaking everywhere.
Yeah, living with them is the worst. When I was growing up, I lived in a cul-de-sac neighborhood where the road looped around a little desert patch. Well, when I was learning to ride a bike, I was pedaling down the road towards the neighborhood, and I didn't turn with the road because I didn't know how. So I rode straight into the desert center and ran into a little cactus patch. I don't remember much about it because I was little, but it was pretty scarring.
Literally. Also, there's a type of cactus called jumping cactus, because they jump out and attack you for no reason. Guess who? Ah! Cacti are jerks.
3. The wildlife. Everyone always talks about the scary scorpions and snakes here, and yeah, they're pretty sucky to have to deal with.
Yeah, one time this big scorpion...
But no one ever talks about the friggin' javelinas! If you don't know what javelinas are, they're wild hogs. And they're scary as freak. They're mean, and they'll run after you, and they travel in packs, and they're smelly.
I've never had to deal with those before.
Well, let me tell you. The only way you can get them to not attack you is to feed them bananas. But then they start coming back because they want more bananas, and you're stuck in this loop forever feeding them all your bananas out of fear.
They're like ducks, but worse.
If ducks were big, ugly, hairy monsters who wanted to eat your bananas.
Me and my siblings used to capture lizards for fun, and we would just hold them. But sometimes we would accidentally pull their tails off. Did you know that lizards' tails still move even after you pull them? I knew that. Also, at night, the cicadas would be really loud and annoying.
4. There's nothing to do here.
That's why me and Jaden are artists. You get to stay inside and do fun stuff, while not having to worry about dying of heat stroke.
Arizona's kinda really boring. There's not much to do here in terms of entertainment. Sure, there's like zoos and I've never been a fan of water parks. They gross me out. Everyone shares the tubes and the slides and the water with a very minimal amount of clothing on. Like, who knows what's in that water? Especially the wave pools. It's like a public bath. I've seen people take hot dogs into them too. It's like dirty public hot dog bath. Oh, I guess the one I like here is Sunsplash.
Same. Wait, did we go to the same water park?
The same Sunsplash?
I mean, it could be a possibility. Did you go on the green one where the floor was...
Like, the floor would drop? Oh my god.
OMG!
So yeah, that's the video. I need water, but my thing's all the way in the corner of the closet.
You can get up and get it. ASMR. Hey, we should make an ASMR video. Stop.
The beloved.
Water. Shrek.
So yeah, that's the video. James and I found out we probably went to the same dirty water park when we were young and never knew it. And everything's come full circle.
Yeah, the food was pretty expensive.
Hope you guys enjoyed us complaining about where we live. If you want to hear some more of the pros
And more cons.
of Arizona, like fruit, old people, and haboob,
Boobs.
go watch James's video. And of course, if you somehow didn't know him or his channel, you gotta check that out too. So thank you.
Thanks for watching.
for the watching. Thank you for the watching.
Thank the watching.
Thanks for the watching. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I was taking so long.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't know what javelinas are? They're wild hogs.
G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to... No, that's not how it goes. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the odd... For some reason, everybody thinks butterflies are better than moths. We make children's books about butterflies. We use them as metaphors of change. You might be an ugly caterpillar now, but you'll grow into a beautiful butterfly. We go into fields and frolic around trying to catch them, and some people even have a collection of them. Granted, the people who do collect them do so by impaling the butterflies. But whatever, it's still a compliment. How many other insects can say that they get this much affection? Maybe praying mantises. Where I come from, every time you see a praying mantis, you have to point it out like, whoa, guys, look, a praying
As
mantis.
always,
And then you just
rest in
look
peace,
at it.
Wolfie.
Anyway, back to the point. Moths, on the other hand, are like
I've
the
only
white trash
streamed
version
like of this and
Even though moths
of
and
this
butterflies
series.
are friendly
I've
and
only
safe creatures,
streamed
for some
because
reason we get
every
lost in the
Saturday
background.
I'm doing
We
this.
laugh at them for flying in the light bulbs.
So
Butterflies do that too if they want to sleep at night. Moths are so attracted to bright light that they'll follow it even if it kills them. You might think that this sort of behavior makes them stupid, but I like to think that this just shows how dedicated they can be. We also get mad at moths for eating our clothes, but if butterflies like the taste of our clothing, they wouldn't hesitate to chomp down on our lunch.
okay.
Actually, butterflies probably think that they're too good for your clothing. They only eat the fine things in life, like flowers. You hear that? Butterflies think they're too good for your t-shirts. In Arizona, we have your normal run-of-the-mill moths, you know, the type, small, gray. They look like a paper airplane made by someone who didn't know how to make a paper airplane. But we also have a moth called the white-lined sphinx moth. And these moths are like the Godzilla of the moth world. Which, actually, I'm pretty sure there is a giant moth in the Godzilla world. Mothra. This, again, just shows how much we don't like moths. We turn them into city-destroying monsters. When will the hate end? I'm sure when they filmed Mothra's scenes in the Godzilla movie, they didn't even use any special effects. They just used a normal white-lined sphinx moth. Those things could beat up hummingbirds if they wanted. One night when I was 5 years old, one of these big boys was hanging around at our porch light because, you know,
If I mess up, I'm closing my eye because my part of my eyelid keeps on twitching. So
More light?
or maybe 6. I don't
jar,
know.
which might have been a good idea if he was still a caterpillar, but I don't think moths typically. Basically, we probably should have just put in a t-shirt. We thought we were taking good care of him. My mom
Hi.
didn't like Harry. She
Hey. Hey. Nothing. I just wondered. Are you ready to watch the stream? What do you mean? I can't hear you. No, you're saying something. What were you saying? You're at your what?
I'm emptying my lunchbox.
You're emptying your lunchbox.
Lunchboxes.
Lunchboxes.
I left one of mine at school.
Okay, hey, I also forgot. Are you okay with me saying your real name out loud in public?
Yeah.
Oh. So,
I play on my Xbox, and I chose Discord to show my real name.
okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, bye. Yes. You still have your homework. Well, bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was my thing. That was my friend Chris. He said it was fun for me to say his
have a
name.
good idea. Why don't you take Harry to your kindergarten class tomorrow and, I don't know, maybe he can be the class pet there. This is back when I thought my mom had good ideas, so we decided to take Harry to school. Because think of how cool you would be as a 5-year-old showing all your classmates the giant moth you captured. Looking back at the situation, having a class pet whose lifespan that won't make it to the end of the school year isn't a smart idea. The teacher probably didn't want to have to come to school one day and explain to a room full of 5-year-olds why the class pet was lying on its back and not moving. So the teacher suggested, what if we release Harry at recess? Now, a lot of kids' movies that have animals in them, the animals usually don't like being captured. The animals want to be free and live out in the wild. Think Finding Nemo, Spirit, Happy Feet, Free Willy. It was common knowledge to every 5-year-old that all the creatures walking on this green earth wanted to live in the wild. So we were more than happy to put Harry back in his home. When it came time for recess, we all walked outside and were excited to be part of the newly instituted catch and release moth program. We were like those people who put beached whales back in the ocean, except in this metaphor, the whale was already in the ocean minding its own business, and then 2 dumb kindergartners put it in a plastic baggie and then moved it miles away from its home. It was supposed to be a happy moment seeing Harry get rehabilitated into moth society, but what actually happened was a lot darker. We gathered around the teacher, she opened the jar, but Harry didn't fly out, so then she had to shake Harry out of the jar. We've already established that Harry isn't that smart. Eventually, he finally understood that he was free. The whole sky was waiting above him. He flew upward, wings fluttering, ready to reclaim his moth life. Well, turns out there's a good reason giant moths only come out at night. And that's mostly because of camouflage and the fact that their predators are asleep. Harry had neither of those advantages at our playground in the middle of the day. Not 10 seconds had gone by when a bird from a nearby tree swooped down and grabbed Harry in its beak. Harry was a free moth for a good 10 seconds before his painful, inevitable death. Immediately, the entire kindergarten class began screaming. My sister ran after the bird, demanding that he release Harry. Unfortunately, birds don't listen to those sorts of demands. Am I right, Jaden?
Ari, sit.
There we go.
Ari, roll over. Ari, stay. No.
So then the teacher had to give us the talk about how nature is a lot scarier than it is in the movies. Basically, the circle of life involves a lot of death. But on the bright side, we totally made that bird's day. He was just sitting in a tree, probably wishing Arizona had more worms, and then boom, free meal. I wonder what I'm going to eat. Wow. For all we know, that could have been the bird's first time eating a moth. I'm sure that bird told all of his bird friends and they totally didn't believe him. Dude, I just caught a moth. Like one of the big ones, yeah. I know they're nocturnal, but it was just flying around in the middle of the day. No, I'm telling the truth. Dude, there were like 30 children who all saw me. Ask any one of them and they'll tell you I caught that moth. I don't remember what happened for the rest of the day during school, but I'm pretty pretty sure we didn't get much done. When we got home, me and my sister tearfully told my mom about how Harry had met his doom. My mom said that she was trying not to cry, but
Yeah.
I think she was lying. I don't think she was as emotionally attached to Harry as we were. Harry was only a part of our lives for a couple of hours, but years have passed and me and my sister still talk about Harry. Just randomly in conversation, one of us will ask, "Hey, do you remember Harry?"
I actually know how to make a lead
15 years ago will be remembered forever.
and a
If
fence.
only Harry was alive to see what he would have become. I want to share with you some pictures I've saved in Harry's scrapbook. Here are Harry's baby pictures. Here's Harry's first apartment. And here's the last thing Harry ever saw. I will remember you. Will you remember me? I don't know the rest of this song, so I'm just gonna stop right now. Hey, what's going on, fellow teens? I'm doing something a little different for this end card. I'm doing this face cam video because I want you to get
There's
used to my
15,
face
and
and what I
there's
look like. Why am I doing
2,
that? Because I'm going
5
to
left,
VidCon,
20.
baby. I'm a featured creator, so if you're going to VidCon, then be on the lookout for this. Also, I changed my channel name recently. I used to be The Odd Ones Out Comic. Now I'm not. Since I changed my name, the plaques that YouTube sent me are wrong now, so I fixed them. I still haven't hung them up yet. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, and wear your...
Our hamsters.
no seatbelt.
What a rascal.
Oh. Hey, just a heads up, don't get too attached to any of the hamsters.
What? What?
Hey, just a heads up, don't get too attached to any of the hamsters mentioned in this video, because they're all dead. And I would say that no hamsters were harmed in the making of this video. Well, I mean, no hamsters were harmed while I made this video. They're all still dead, but some hamsters...
Hey,
Yeah, what up?
I'm watching now.
Oh, shoot. You just saw my chicken?
Hmm?
Did you just see my chicken?
No.
Oh, okay. Where's my chicken? There he is. Come on. Yeah, hey, what up?
Oh, I see your chicken food.
Yeah, he got out.
Yeah, okay. Did you just see my chicken? Yeah.
Okay. Well, bye. Yes. Wait, real quick. So, do you not have like? Are you not? What? So are you not? Are you not signed into YouTube?
No, I'm watching it right now.
Are you not? Are you not signed into it?
So, do you not have like, are you not, what? I'm watching it right now.
Are you signed into YouTube?
So are you not signed into YouTube? I'm signed into YouTube, I'm watching it right now.
Oh, okay.
Are
Well,
you not signed into it?
are you not signed into YouTube?
Are you signed into, you don't need to sign into YouTube to watch you.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it through the stream, okay? Well, bye. So yeah, I was asking, are you signed into YouTube? Yeah, so yeah, I just wondered. Yeah, well. Okay. Okay, just wondering. Okay.
Not harmed. Just keep watching. If there's anything I've learned that the internet just loves is stupid drama and cute animals. So I'm
Okay,
going to talk about all the cute hamsters that I've enslaved. Our family enslaved quite a lot. It was my twin sister who really wanted a pet hamster and bugged my mom to get one. And my mom, being super nice, bought her the cage, and we bought everything else, including a little black hamster. We named him Squeaks. And he liked to do this really cute thing where he put all of his food in this hamster wheel, and it was made of plastic so he could do that. And then late at night, he would just run in it, and it would sound like... It was like a more annoying maraca. I actually made a comic on paper inspired by this hamster.
Sorry if you were attached to. Sorry if you were attached to the chicken.
The hamster is nocturnal. Really? That means I'll hardly notice him. And then at night he's trying to sleep, but the hamster is loud, and that's keeping him awake. And the joke is that he said he'd hardly notice him, and he's noticing him. It's not that funny. And I need to tell you about a dog that we have named Georgie. And actually, a little fun fact about Georgie: she was born on election day of 2004, which is a much cooler holiday to have a birthday on. It only comes once every 4 years. It's like leap year. It's more rare. So since George W. Bush won the 2004 election, we named our dog Georgie after him. Aww. And that also means that our 12th birthday was on the 2nd. I definitely won't be able to get this video out by that time, but still, happy birthday to you. Yay!
I know, yeah, but I'm not that popular of a channel, so... Real quick, I'm gonna text Ren real quick. Everybody should know who Ren is.
Anyway, back to rodents. This dog just loved to murder these animals. Well, I don't know if murder's the right word. No, murder's the right word. You have to understand that Georgie is a West Highland Terrier, and that breed is known for hunting small animals. So having Georgie and a hamster in the same house doesn't mix well. We had this little plastic hamster ball that we put Squeaks in sometimes. The first time we put Squeaks into his plastic ball, my older brother bowled him like a bowling ball. Peter, don't sue me. I was vegan for a week. And Georgie thought it was a treat just for her. A treat with a hard outer shell and a juicy middle. She would go straight up rabid wolf on that hamster ball. We didn't put Squeaks inside his hamster ball anymore after that. But there's even more to say about this hamster. One day, me and my sister came home from school and Squeaks was just gone. He escaped. Everyone check your pockets! We looked everywhere and we couldn't find him. We had to keep a close eye on Georgie at all times. My sister put up missing posters around the house. I don't know if those help. We made these traps out of Duplo. Did anyone else's parents get them Duplo instead of Legos? No? Only my parents were that lame? Alright. We built this box thing out of Duplo and we made these stairs going up to the top of the box. We put lettuce on each step, and the plan was that the hamster would walk up the stairs and fall in the box because they're stupid. But the traps never worked. And all the hamsters we got in the future that also escaped, we made the same traps, and not once did they ever work. 4 days. Squeaks was missing for 4 days. We found his body inside the wall. He was alive! My dad was sitting on the couch relaxing. It was dead quiet, and he just heard the faintest... Squeaks was inside the wall.
What do you mean for a newbie?
I don't know what I would do if my kid's hamster was inside the wall of my house. Well, kids...
Yeah, what do you mean by for a newbie?
3 holes in the wall and lured Squeaks out with his legs. Poor thing is probably starving. Hopefully he kept some extra food in his cheeks.
Oh, thank you.
Even being tormented by the dog and getting stuck in the wall for 4 days, Squeaks still lived a fulfilling 2 years of life. Hamsters don't have that long a lifespan. We buried him in the backyard. After the Squeaks dynasty, we got some more hamsters. Squeaks 2, that was the next one. We thought maybe if we introduced Squeaks 2 to Georgie, then they could be friends and get along. I'll spare you the details of what happened that night. The next one we named Killer because he kept biting us, so get it? Killer? Yeah, he ended up getting killed. Nah, I'm just kidding. He wasn't killed. He lived a long and normal hamster life. Squeaks 2 was killed, though. I don't know if you picked up on that. We bought these 3 little hamsters. Seriously, they're the most adorable little things. They look like dicks. I forgot their names. We'll just call them the 3 amigos. Aw. The lady at the pet store told us that if we bought hamsters from the same litter, they would all get along. She was obviously just trying to sell us more hamsters. Or maybe she didn't have any siblings. But these bros just hated each other. They would never stop fighting. As I was writing the script for this, I thought, well, maybe they were just aggressively playing. So I googled, do hamsters play with each other, just to be sure? And the first thing that showed up, dwarf hamsters, which is what the 3 amigos were, are quite territorial and will not see former cage mates as old friends. They see them as threatening rivals. So there we go. You really know your hamsters, lady. So we had to get 3 different cages for them. they still gave each other some death glares. I actually made a video a long time ago about this time I broke one of their cages. I was cleaning it outside, and for whatever reason, I was like, I wonder if I could stand on it. The answer, no, I couldn't. The glass broke and I bled everywhere. I still have the scar on my foot. And then all the three amigos died off, one by one. Sorry, I'm getting really emotional. We also had this other hamster named Buddy, and I wasn't going to mention him because he just escaped and we
By
never
the way,
found him, except as my
if
mom
you're
would read
wondering
all the script
why
and
I
she reads over
play
the script,
YouTube
like,
whenever I'm doing
"Did
this,
you ever tell me what happened to Buddy?" And I said, "What do you mean?"
the reason why I play them is because oh shoot, it's because then if you haven't,
Shoot, I'll take one of these puppies. No, not an actual killer. But then 1 month after I got her, she just died. For no
why are you
reason.
giving me tips?
Even though I loved
I'm
her. She had
very
boobs, she had
good
blood,
on
and
my
it was the
at
first time I was
Minecraft.
taking care of a hamster, okay? All the other ones lived for a couple of years. I was so sad. I totally got gypped. No wonder they were on sale. They were all halfway to death's door. I mean, I only had the hamster for a month. I didn't get that emotionally attached to it. But then later, I got a different hamster that I paid full price for, and I named her Gumball. Unlike all the other hamsters that were technically my sister's, this hamster was all mine. And she didn't
Yeah,
have anything
I
to
play
do with
YouTube.
it. She had a good
My
hamster
voice.
life.
I play YouTube because I play YouTube because if people haven't seen YouTube videos, I make sure people have seen them, so I play them.
So much so that it got to the point that the hamster would come out looking
Wow.
just by the sound.
Yeah, but I actually do. I play YouTube because then if you haven't seen video, stop freaking texting me. Oh, it was a YouTube message. Yeah, I play YouTube so people don't. So if people haven't seen like YouTube things, I play them so people will know what they are. Shoot, I know where. Bones. Bones. I know where bones. I have bones. That was a waste of bones. Oh.
Science fair.
I'm taking off my.
I was talking to a friend saying,
Oh, yeah.
I know, I can do a video about the science fair and, talk about how much it sucks.
Let me speed it up a tiny bit. Do 1.5.
Science fair. I was talking to a friend saying, I know, I can do a video about the science fair and, talk about how much it sucks. And she said, at my school, we didn't do the science fair.
What?
That got me wondering, did other people not do the science fair? So I did my own science experiment on Twitter. I ran a poll and asked you guys if you did the science fair and whether or not you enjoyed doing it. And 58% of you said you didn't have to do the science fair. Like, that was way more than I expected. That's the majority. I've renamed this group of people the lucky ones. And when I asked if you enjoyed doing it, 21% of you said you did enjoy it, and 21% of you said you didn't. I know Twitter polls aren't the most accurate sources of data, but I think it's safe to say that this is a pretty split issue. Now, I'm in the 21% of people who didn't enjoy the science fair. And don't get me wrong, I love science. Well, okay, that might not be true. I really hated biology. Chemistry, that was physics. Physics was okay. Maybe I don't like science. I just like space and watching these. Phil and Neil, they're my buddies. Except Neil did hurt my feelings one time. We'll get back to that later. Alright, so let me briefly go over what the science fair is for you lucky ones who didn't have to deal with that. Apparently, it's a very American thing, right guys? Absolutely, yeah. Basically, we started doing them, I want to say around 4th grade, and we would do this every year up until 10th grade. The whole class would spend all day researching a topic that interests them, and then we'd have to come up with a question that we could run an experiment on. An example of these questions are, does the temperature of a battery affect how long it will last? What color light produces the most heat? How does the shape of a rocket spin affect its travel? All of which are projects I did. Basically, this is supposed to teach you about the scientific method, but what it really did was teach us how to procrastinate and make up data. And on paper, you might think, that sounds like fun. I wish my school did the science fair.
No.
There are some flaws with the science fair. First, you got the option to work with a partner. And of course, you want to work with a partner so you can split up the work and not do as much. Now, since I didn't have any friends, I would partner up with someone that no one else wanted to partner
Yeah,
with.
I actually didn't name that the North Star. So I'm actually keeping my house here.
We had to come up with a question all on our own. And you gotta understand, we were just kids. We don't think as cognitively as scientists do, okay? Just a couple years ago, we still believed in Santa Claus. Except for me, my family didn't do Santa Claus. And now you want us to wonder if the ratio of the cylinder will affect its buoyancy? Like, come on. And also, we don't have access to any resources. Science fair is a lot like an episode of Mythbusters. But what sets apart the Mythbusters from your average 4th fourth grader is that they're really smart engineers with access to explosives. Well, we can't even drive to Walmart ourselves. We have to ask our parents to take us. One year, I wanted to do an experiment on a certain type of soil, so I did research, wrote everything all up. But then when I went to Home Depot to buy the soil, they didn't even have it. So I had to pick a new topic and start all over again. Now do you see why I think the science fair sucks? So okay, I think it would have been better in elementary school if you were assigned a question. I know the whole point of these things is about discovery, but we're all stupid, okay? I guess if you're anything like me and you chose a crappy question, you'll have a bad science fair. My very first science fair, after all day researching possible questions, me and my partner came up with the question, what time of the day is the hottest? Now, I already know the answer to this question, and in fourth grade, I'm sure I already knew the answer to this question too. It's new. Like, I don't need to run an experiment on that. In fact, I can just go to Google and seriously just type weather, and boom, there's my data right there. No need for an experiment. But the science fair isn't just finding the answer to your question. No, 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 no. First, after you research the topic, you have to write a hypothesis. A hypothesis is basically you guessing what you think the result of the experiment will be, but you don't write it down as I think this will happen. No, you write it like you know what's going to happen. A formula science, for a perfect hypothesis is if blank then blank because blank. Let's use my battery experiment. I said, does the temperature of a battery affect how long it will last? So after doing research about how batteries work, a hypothesis for this experiment would be if two AA batteries are used at given temperatures, then the battery in the hot temperature will not last as long because the battery's fluid will evaporate, which damages the internal structure of the battery. Oh, and spoiler alert, no, it doesn't. I put two batteries outside, two in the freezer, I let them sit, and then I plugged them into my Game Boy Advance, and they last the exact same amount of time. I learned nothing. So you also have to write up the materials you use for the experiment, then you have to write up the steps to do the experiment, the procedures, and you also have to write an introduction, basically just bullcrapping what you're going to do. Then you do the experiment, aka the fun part. Make sure you write down your results because you have to make a graph. You have to. How do you make a graph to show that batteries at different temperatures last the same amount of time? They did. You think you're done, right? But no, you gotta write up the results as if your graph didn't already perfectly depict that, and a conclusion. The conclusion is like the most insulting part of the science fair. You basically go through this checklist of questions that you answer. Was your hypothesis correct? No, my hypothesis was not correct. What mistakes could you have made in your experiment? I don't know. Maybe I took the batteries out of the cold and hot and put them in a room temperature Game Boy, and in a couple of minutes they both went to a room temperature. I don't know. How can others use this information you found? What do you mean? All the batteries lasted the same. I don't think anyone's going to put their batteries in their freezer to have literally no effect. All right, and then you take everything you wrote, print it out, and then slap it onto a poster board. And everyone, and I mean everyone, would use construction paper as a border around the poster board a good aesthetic. I think the second most fun part of the science fair was choosing the word on the
Cool.
Oh, and by the way, the teachers told us to have a creative title to catch people's attention. Like, that was part of the assignment. We got graded on the title. Basically, they were telling us to create puns for a grade. If you're doing a project that's measuring plant growth, ready, set, grow. That was a very popular choice. And then everyone took their poster boards and presented it in front of the whole class. Those were the three most boring days of science ever, except for the day you presented. That was the most stressful day. And then after all that, everyone in the school put their poster board up in the cafeteria, and you know, then it was fun to walk around and see how other people decorated their poster board. And you could always tell whose mom helped them. So overall, I didn't have a good time.
My
Those 1%
batteries.
of people who did enjoy it, I'm glad you liked it. But me and the other 0.1% of people think you're huge nerds. And when I asked that Twitter question, I had some people messaging me saying, yeah, I got third place and all I had was a cup of dirt, ha 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 ha. And that made me wonder, wait, it was a competition? So I think the key to a good science fair is to come up with a good question and also to a topic that you actually enjoy. One science fair, I did an experiment on rockets, and I had a blast. That would have been a good title. But for another year, I did what color light is the hottest. I just shined a lamp at a thermometer and switched out the bulbs. I know I'll let Neil say what he thinks about that whole project.
Okay, red light is warmer than blue light. Interesting discovery, but not exactly revolutionary.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Neil. Yeah, just completely discredit all my research. I'm fine. So, moral of the story, if you need an idea for a science fair project, do it on rockets. You don't even need a question. Just launch model rockets. Hey, guys, do you think tea is gross? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, do you think that it should be called soccer instead of football? Yeah, absolutely. This is too much power for one person to have. So let me just give you some updates about the merch store, okay? I was originally just going to sell t-shirts, but then I contacted someone else and we got talking, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's more than t-shirts now. I'm just waiting for it to arrive in the mail so I can make a proper announcement video about it, but it's big. Sorry it took longer than expected. Hopefully it will be worth the wait. Also, a big thanks to my UK friends who were nice enough to send me audio of them agreeing to everything. Speaking of science, hey guys, do you think the metric system is a stupid way of measuring things? Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, do you think that you should wear your seatbelt? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hey, England! For the entirety of this video, I'm going to be calling this sport football and this sport soccer, okay? Well, blimey, mate, we got a cheeky bugger here, we do. Well, pip pop cheerio, hope a snippy winks and knockers, God save the queen. What did I just say? So, the theme of this video, sports. Either you love them, or you hate them. Or you have some other third thing. Growing up, my family was never big on sports. We never watched any games on the telly. Sorry, I still got some British in me. And me and my dad never went out and played catch. He also never taught me how to shave. He was gone a lot. He always talked about Heather. Okay, but I did play soccer for a couple years when I was like 7. I was on the green team. Sports at that age aren't even like sports. It's just parents wanting you to go outside more. Being a goalie on a soccer team when you're that age is super stressful. The whole team is counting on you. Even stopping a ball that's gently rolled towards you is difficult. One time, the other team we were playing was so sucky that all the players spent the whole game on their half of the field. And I was the goalie for my team, and I remember just sitting down and picking at the grass. Soccer was the only sport that I've been on a team for. Well, I mean, I'm not counting the track team that I was on for only 2 days. There's this kid I mentioned a
It's
long
so
time
little
ago
how
in Boy
Coach
Scout
had to
video
whack him.
named Micah. Now, he was a soccer fanatic. I wonder what he's doing. Okay, England. We have this holiday called Thanksgiving. We celebrate it because it's when we left your lame country. Don't ask what we did next. So on Thanksgiving, for some reason, it's a tradition to play football before you go and eat food. So while the ladies stay inside and cook the meal, the men go outside and throw a pigskin around. I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm not a sexist. But I mean, that is what happens. So one time during Thanksgiving, I wasn't particularly the best player, but while we were playing, I freaking caught the ball. I caught it! And then I just started booking it across the field. I probably never ran so quickly in my entire life. And I actually made it. I scored a home run. And that, to me, was such a pivotal point in my life. I felt so accomplished. Me, a little kid, scored a goal against a bunch of adults.
If you're wondering why I need a string is why I'm needing a spider's quick string.
But I remember I was a senior in high school, and I was just driving, and then the thought came to me, they probably let me score that touchdown. They're going easy on me. Man, growing up sucks. I was never all
Also,
that
I need to make
competitive
a bow.
Well, okay, I was never competitive when it came to sports. It's just a game, guys. We're supposed to have fun. Winning's not that important.
Where
Sports
is
are good at that age, though. They promote physical activity. You can make friends. You might like the sport and want to pursue it more, and it's not a big deal if you suck. I'm totally making my future kid play a sport. That is, if I have kids.
Oh, I forgot.
I might die alone. People make the comparison that some people watch gaming channels for the same reason that others watch sports. You're watching someone play a video game? Why do you watch someone play when you can just go to the computer and play it yourself? Now replace the word video game with sport and outside with computer. And it's the same thing. Loading Artist made a very good comic about the point I'm trying to make. I'll just read it. What are you doing? Watching this guy play a game. It's pretty funny. Wait, so you aren't even playing? Yeesh, what a waste of time. And then he goes and watches the sports game. Man, Loading Artist is so much cooler than me. I've said this before, but he was such a big inspiration to me when I was first starting out. I just wanted to say that again. Go read all of his comics right now. I just want to say it's fine if you watch sports. Granted, I won't watch them with you because they're incredibly boring. You want to know why gaming channels work? It's because they play
I did know that.
Even Captain Sparkles, who mostly plays Minecraft,
And also,
who
you can share a sheep.
by the way. And I did buy a t-shirt to prove my point, but it's still in the mail. See, look, I bought a t-shirt and I bought sunglasses right here.
Chickens are...
Well, I just want to give a big shout out to themakershop.com, who's taking a million years to ship me my Captain Sparkles shirt. It was going to be so cool. I was going to say, I bought a t-shirt to prove my point. And then I was going to flick the sunglasses that I also bought down. Notice me, senpai. His email says it's going to take 3 to 7 business days to ship. Well, yesterday was 13th business day. What is it, Jordan? 7 or 13? So I bought this just so I have something physical to show my love for Captain Sparkles. I've been watching all of his videos since TNT. Oh, he's changed it. But the point is, he changes around the format and the rules of his Let's Plays with all the different maps he plays. It's different for every video, even his role-playing ones, which I'm still waiting for part 5 to come out. Like, imagine if there was a gaming channel that only played the first Super Mario game. It might be fun to watch at first, especially if they're good at playing the game, and it might be fun to watch how other people play it and see what they do. But for 50 years? Don't you think that would get a little boring after a while? I mean, only so much can happen, and that's what I think sports is like sometimes. It's the same game, same rules, over and over and over. Like, spice some things up once in a while. What if for basketball there were like mystery boxes, like in Mario Kart, and you can grab them, and that gives you advantage? How about if a team is losing, they get some wacky, hilarious handicap depending on how far behind they are?
I did... Okay. I did know that if you use shears, it gives you the leaf block. I did know that. By the way, if you don't hear my voice, it's just me because I'm playing YouTube.
But a lot of times, sports aren't like that. Like, if one team is leading by 50 points, why even bother watching the last 5 minutes of the game? I would rather watch any Air Bud movie than a sports game, because stuff actually happens in those movies, and they're different each time. And there's a dog wearing shoes in it. I just want to say for the record, my kid grew up to be a professional athlete, then I'll watch sports. But only the games that they play in, and only the games that are interesting. Why is it socially acceptable to know everything about sports and dress up, but it isn't acceptable to dress up in fursuits and go to cons? You see, I don't think it's acceptable to do either of those things. You're both weird. But don't let me stop you. You do
It's a sloth holding
Okay, let's talk
a
about
light
some stories. In
flashlight.
grade school, I was put in the honor classes for my academic achievement, which did not help me whatsoever. It probably hurt me when I went to college. But that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, so during recess, the whole class would play kickball. Kickball is a fun sport. Anyone can play it, but it takes a pro to be good at it. What? There was this girl in my class who was the best kickball player, and then later, when she grew up, she became the valedictorian of my high school and went to Harvard. I'm proud of her. Also, my ginger friend Nick Jiggly, who I've mentioned before, he also got to speak during graduation.
Yeah, I'm staying right here for a reason. It's because there's the North Star, and I don't want to like move it and then like have to smelt it, and also I don't want to move Wolfie's grave.
His hands would be shaking, and people would think, oh, he's nervous. But no, actually, he's the most extroverted and outgoing kid that I knew. He just had a condition. And that was a pretty long tangent. What are we talking about? Sport? Oh, yeah, kickball. Since everyone in the class was kind of already a nerd, I wasn't usually the last one to be picked on a team. I was usually the fourth or third to last. It's so nerve-wracking when the last five are still standing, and you think, don't let me do last, don't let me do last. And then you get picked, and it's like, ha! They think I'm better than you! Which I'm not, actually. One time, I think I was like 15 or something, and me and this big group of people went to a sports complex. And we were having fun, playing games, and running around, and then, boom! A soccer ball just whacked me in the face. I got a bloody nose, and I couldn't stand up without toppling over for a few seconds. And then I went to a bathroom, freshened up. What sucked was that it was a girl that hit me, and people made jokes like, oh, you got hit by a girl. It still hurt, okay? So I sat out for a couple of minutes. I waited until I stopped seeing flashing colors. Then, like the man that I am, I went back and played some more. And not 5 minutes go by when it happened again. Different person this time. But after the second time, I was completely out. I mean, I wasn't unconscious, but I couldn't get up. I remember my brother had to carry me out on his shoulder. So I didn't play any more soccer after that. I didn't play for a long time, actually. I don't think I even played soccer after that whole experience. So, thanks for watching. That was the video. I didn't even talk about how sports athletes are overpaid, but that's not really my here nor there to say that. Some people think that I'm probably overpaid. I would have had to do research to talk about the overpaid athletes. Teachers, they don't get paid. They get paid nothing. But I mean, it's kind of like supply and demand. I mean, I'm just talking out of my butt right now. Not everyone can throw a football. What else? So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to smash that video, smash that subscribe button, smash that comment bar, and smash your girlfriend. I'm sorry. You know,
And I don't really know to trigger words until I had roommates. And hated my roommates. Anyways, if you watch my videos.
Oh, James, you didn't hate your roommates. You just mildly disliked them. Yes, I did. When I first moved out of my house in college, the day I moved into my
I'll do that as soon as I finish my house.
this is what I saw. Keep in mind all the buildup that has gone into this moment. First, I had to get accepted into the school, then pick my major and classes. Then I had to find an apartment close to the school and get everything set up there. Then I had to pack everything up into a suitcase, kiss my dogs goodbye, and then be all on my own for the very first time. I opened the door to where I'd be living for the next 8 months, and this is what I see. Someone sleeping on a couch, he was wearing some bright fast food employee uniform, the TV is on, there's a Halo 5 poster hanging on the wall, the sink, counter, and table is full of dirty dishes, there's a big industrial-sized...
And by the way, I'm still gonna record my next episode of this Let's Play, even though it's gonna be Earth Day.
But the worst thing that was there was about 1 million basketball cards just lying on the floor. I'm not even exaggerating, here's proof.
Spikes?
Okay, so I got a single room
What do you
because I
mean?
brought all my drawing stuff, and I would
What do
feel
you mean
bad if I shared a
spikes?
room with someone and he had to deal with all my
It's not a
drawing
part
stuff
of
being
my...
there, and also I wanted to be alone. Looking back, I'm so glad
That's actually not a part of my...
that room couldn't even fit myself. Literally, I could stand in the middle of the room, hold my hands out, and without moving my feet, I could touch the walls of the
What?
room. Maybe it's just
Okay.
long arms, I don't know. I mean, I could settle for a
I'll do
small
that
bedroom.
as soon as I
Living there
finish
so
building my
far
house.
were the roommates. What I didn't realize is that these boys also got private rooms. So that means that they too were socially awkward and kept to themselves. Which you might think is a good thing, but you'd be wrong. On the first night of being by myself, I unpack all my drawing stuff and I set it all up. Then I turn on the computer and the screen is just black. Nothing was turning on. I tried everything to fix it and it just wasn't turning on. Eventually I contacted the people who made it, sent it in, and then I got it back working. But during that week while the tablet was being fixed, like seriously, no joke, that was probably the worst week of my entire life. I'm being serious. Making comics and YouTube videos was what kept me sane. And that first night of being on my own and my tablet broke, I cried, guys. I couldn't even eat food, I was that sad. I hit rock bottom. I remember just watching Captain Sparkles and Game Grumps highlights all day. But then the day I got it back, I was a drawing machine. I posted the comic the very same day. So let's spend the rest of this video talking about these previously mentioned roommates I had. The first person I need to talk about is Isaac. He was the only one that I liked, and he's also the only one I told that I make YouTube videos. Now this boy wore obey hats, he vaped, and he said stuff like, "That's dope." But you wanna know why I liked him the most? Because he did the dishes! Like, me and him did the dishes. It wasn't just him, okay? I'd probably never become friends with him in any other circumstance. Just wanted to say that he was the cool one. I like him. Hi, Isaac. I miss you.
By the way, in the comments, tell me if I make my live streams way too long.
The scumbag Steve meme, it looked exactly like my roommate who I'll just make up a fake name for, Steve for convenience. I'm pretty sure I was roommates with a meme. Just put a fedora on this meme, and boom, that's my roommate, Steve. And it was a very fitting meme, too. This guy wouldn't do the dishes. He always cooked this ramen thing in the microwave, and would leave this gross juice stuff behind. So then when I would go to use the microwave, it would get my paper plate soggy. So I would have to check every time before I used it to make sure there was no juice stuff behind. And also at night, we watched anime without headphones, subbed. Anime has a certain sound to it, I don't know if you knew that. It's like normal Japanese, but really emphatically. Luckily, it was usually late at night when he started watching, so I would just have to get to sleep before he started, and I would be all good. James, why didn't you just ask him to turn it down? You know what? He did turn it down for that night. That night. That one night. The very next night. But you know, he wasn't too bad. He would spend most of his time in his room playing video games, and I would spend most of my time in my room drawing. So except for the microwave juice thing, we didn't get in each other's way too often. Here's actually a funny story. So when I was filming the part in the vegan video when I crumpled up Oreos over Reese's Puffs, Steve walked into the kitchen and he saw me filming this sugary vegan concoction, and I just said to him, "Don't ask." Okay, so here's the roommate that I hated the most. His fake name will be Hunter. He was the one asleep on the couch when I first walked in, and he was the one who had collected all those billions of basketball cards. Just basketball cards. And he kept them all in the front room. What's the point of having sports cards when you can't even play with them? I mean, I spend money on Magic the Gathering cards, but that's because it's an actual game that you can play with friends. What do you do with sports cards? I mean, I guess you can leave them in the front room of your apartment. Maybe one day your roommate might make a video about it, though. He left his Mountain Dew bottles on the floor. He farted in public. He'd always complain that Steve didn't do the dishes, but he wouldn't do the dishes either. One time I was tired of doing everyone's dirty dishes, so I bought a big stack of paper plates for everyone to use. But Hunter took the paper plates to a party without even asking me, and he didn't even bring them back. But the worst thing this guy did, one day he told me, "My ex-girlfriend doesn't want our dog anymore, so he's coming to live here." So this boy wants to bring a dog in an already very small, cramped apartment. I couldn't believe this. The dog's name was Snoopy, and I loved him. Hunter would put him in his kennel at night, but one night I was like, "Hey, Hunter, Snoopy can stay with me if you want." And then, boom, from that day forth, I was the one taking care of Snoopy. Snoopy would now sleep in my room. I would be the one who took him out.
Sorry, Ghost of Wolfie. I'm just shortening it down because if I ever have any other dogs that die, it's gonna be sort of like a dog graveyard.
This dog would follow me everywhere. And then one day Hunter said, "Hey, do you just want to have Snoopy? I was going to get rid of him." And then I said I would take him. And then later that same week, Hunter moved out. He took all the toilet paper too. He basically gave me a dog. And of course I loved that dog. But we lived in such a small space, and I was always busy with school and drawing. And these weren't the best conditions for a dog to live in. And I'm pretty sure my apartment didn't even allow pets. So I asked people I knew if they wanted Snoopy, and my grandma got one of her friends to take care of him. So I dropped Snoopy off, and I've never seen him since. And that's it, the end. There was another roommate who I didn't even mention. He always worked a lot, so I didn't really see him too much. He had an electrical toothbrush, and I think since I was already mad at my roommate, when I would be trying to go to sleep, and he would start brushing his teeth, I would hear the electrical toothbrush going, and I would just start shaking with anger, like, just use a normal toothbrush! Also, I want to thank you all for 1 million subscribers. I mean, as I'm recording this, I don't have 1 million just yet, but hey, when this comes out, maybe I'll have 1 million, who knows? I'm counting my chickens before they hatch, and there could be an came up with the same idea. It happens all the time with other cartoonists, not just me. Again, I don't purposely take comic ideas and try and pass them off as my own. Whenever people point out that my comic is a lot like someone else's, I get really sad. So you guys should check out these other cartoonists, they're really good. Anyway, I just wanted to say that at the beginning of the video because I'm going to be telling you about times that I actually did plagiarize. But that was just in school, okay? I keep plagiarism off the internet. Isn't that right, Matthew? I cheated a bit in school. An occasional glance at my partner's desk, maybe jot down that important equation on my hand, nothing too big. I had a math class where we went to lunch in the middle of the class, and whenever we had tests, the teacher wouldn't split the test into 2 parts. Do you expect us not to exchange notes? The first time that I got caught cheating was in 9th grade. And if you stalk me and watch my old videos, you know that I went to a preparatory school my freshman year. And in preparatory school, the amount of work they gave you as kids was just stupid. So cut me some slack. In one class, we had to write an essay about something historical or something, and I chose to write about the Berlin Wall, specifically about people who escaped across the Berlin Wall. Now, I chose this topic because, I don't know if you know this, but there's a National Geographic documentary about this exact topic. So I didn't copy and paste anything into my essay per se. It's just I told the exact same stories in the exact same order as the documentary. And okay, I might have wrote some things down word for word, but at least I didn't plagiarize it from Wikipedia, okay? So I didn't copy and paste anything until I had to write the conclusion of the essay. And I found this article talking about it, and the article said some things that would have been perfect in my essay. So Control C, Control V. I turned it in, I didn't think too much of it, but then when I got it back, the conclusion paragraph had been highlighted and a "see me" was written next to it. So I had gotten in trouble for plagiarizing the conclusion. Just the conclusion. Nothing else. To be honest, I'd kind of forgotten that I copied and pasted the conclusion. I thought he knew that I basically turned in a script of a documentary. The teacher, who will call me...
Sorry. Actually, current live streams. Oh yeah, it's mine. Well, I just want to actually say yeah. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, no shift take. Okay, let me eat. I was about to say, I found out from actually eating chicken, you can actually get hunger. Okay, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, no. Okay, let me just put a tiny bit more stuff. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, peace out, homies. Just want to say, please just be ready for Saturday for my episode 2 of this Minecraft Let's Play. And